Yet another vehicle wrapped with the official eCom season team wrap. We're gonna have a whole bunch of cars designed exactly like this with the calipers the same color, everything matching. There's even a very slight eCom season imprint right underneath the stripe. If you guys haven't already seen, we got multiple vehicles like this, and we plan on doing a whole lot more, all of my own, plus as many of our team members as we possibly can. If you guys are not yet following the eCom season movement, for those of you who don't know, that is a separate YouTube channel I have, as well as an Instagram page that is basically just more so focused around the education side of the company of what I do. So besides just running my own e-commerce companies, we also have a training program and a whole community built around that. One of the single biggest ecom communities ever. As you can see here on this channel, from at least when I'm recording this, there's over 190,000 subscribers. That's insane. That pins us just barely behind Shopify, which is Shopify. I mean, that's the other biggest ecom channel. So I really do appreciate all the support. If you guys want to check out the eCom season YouTube channel, that channel is not so much just focused on the quality of content. You know, it's more focused on just the value. If I'm in a dark room, but I'm with a billionaire and I want to get a quick thing, you know, for 30 seconds or film a phone call or something, it's not focused on being professional. I just want to show you the ins and out and more so the behind the scenes, and introduce you to people who are going to be able to help you along the way in your journey as well. So I hope you guys enjoy following us and being a part of the eCom season team. I appreciate you for being a community member here on the channel. And with that being said, let's jump into today's video. It is absolutely crucial to drink water. You can't make money if you're dead. You got to drink water to stay alive. So I suggest you get some water. All right, now that we got that most important tip of the day out of the way, as promised, I am bringing you guys an update on the newest e-commerce store that I've been working on over the last 50 days or so. If you have not already seen this video, I'll put a picture of the thumbnail. This was posted about 3 weeks ago, roughly, maybe 2, from when I'm mentioning this, okay, from when I'm filming this video. So that was breaking down an e-commerce store that I was like in the middle of scaling. As of right now, that store, and I'll put up some screenshots or whatever, is doing about $23,000 to $25,000 a day. And as I mentioned in that video, if you guys have not already seen it, the goal for this month in November of 2019 with this newest store is to do $1 million in revenue with that alone. Now, I want to kind of break down what I did to really scale it up to that point, a little bit of the ad strategy, but also more so the product, the behind the scenes, what my focus was. And one of the most important things, which I know people are already going to ask, is the margin. So if you really want to build something, and again, this is my opinion, if you really want to build something quickly when it comes to e-commerce, you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice your margin. So back when I made that video and the store was doing about $10,000 to $12,000 a day, the margin was slightly higher than what it is at, well, as of last week. So not right now. Right now it's higher. But I'm going to kind of walk you guys through this just so you can understand what the profit margin is on something like this, what it can expect to be as you're starting to grow it, as you let that level out and optimize and move up through the different stages. So first of all, for those of you who have not already done so, I would greatly appreciate if you smashed the like button on this video, because my goal here is just to be as transparent as possible. And as I mentioned about 2 months back, and for those of you who are new to the channel, you haven't heard, but my goal is to show as much as I can, you know, towards like the end of the year, each year, of what we're doing through Q4, how that time of the year works, because this is the craziest time of the year where we can really set up all these new e-commerce stores, build out these brands, and set them up so they can just absolutely dominate it into 2020 and beyond. And then obviously in 2020, you got another Q4 at the end of the year. Just keep ramping everything up. For me, this is the most fun time of the year. It's the most profitable time of the year. And at the same time, it is also the most stressful. Right? Nothing's going to come easy. I work long days, long hours, and I do apologize for the messy room. I haven't even been here for the last 3 days because I've been jumping around trying to get Wi-Fi because ours keeps cutting in and out. So there's been some problems. I'm headed out of town anyways, so I could really care less. But with that being said, let's jump into all the numbers. All right, here is a screenshot that I took at 11:59 p.m. As you guys can see right up there, perfect timing, 2 days ago on the last day of the month. So on the 31st of October, that is a screenshot. That is exactly what we ended the month off in sales. So that's a huge, huge number. And I want to break this down, first of all, what we did, because take notice of the graph. That video that I filmed on YouTube was like right there when it first started to pop off, like the first kind of bigger day. I mean, this is building up still. It was doing like 7,000 a day, or 6. But you had a nice pop, right? How do you pop by almost double? I want to explain these different pops because you see it goes like that, it goes back down, it loops back up, goes back down. Think about it like a stepper pattern that kind of has a slight dip off, but it's going up. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be back. I don't know if that even makes sense. I'd have to draw it out. But essentially, you go from 1,000 a day to 2,000, down to 1,500, to 3,000, to 2,500, and blah, 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 and so on. That is how the numbers works when it comes to what I'm doing with e-commerce. So I want to kind of break down the main focus of this store because I'm going to put up a screenshot as well of all the different numbers, the different sources of revenue. For an example, one of the upsells that we have set up on this store has made us over $20,000 in extra sales through Shopify. So for those of you who don't know what Shopify is, it is a one-click upsell service, an app that you can download through Shopify. So this still is a Shopify store. That's a Shopify app right there that I was showing you a screenshot of. And to me, the upsell, I consider that something that allows me to be more reckless on the front end. Let me explain. If you're selling a product for $30, which is roughly what we're selling it for, $30, but you have something on the back end where you could get another $20, pushing maybe 30% of people to spend $50 instead of just $30. Well, you average it out, now you're getting like a $35 average order value. That allows me to spend more money on the front end without losing money because I have an extra piece on the back end that makes me no money. Remember, I'm not spending more money to advertise the upsell. They're already buying the current product. So it allows me to then get even closer to my break-even number and even take a slight loss as long as I know the numbers to build data and get customers coming in. Because the most important thing when you're running Facebook ads, and I can't stress this enough, is to build data. Facebook is going to take time to learn who your customer is. And even though just this month we had 9,450 individual orders packed and shipped, it still takes time. Okay, and that is a whole lot of data. Facebook definitely is helping us optimize because after you get to about the 500 sale mark, definitely the 1,000 individual sales, Facebook's going to have a very good average of the age of your customer, the gender, their location. Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on the iPhone, Android? What time of the day are they buying? All these different things factor in, okay? So for me, one of the key things that I really did to grow this store quickly is I was willing to break even right away. So we finished off this month at about a 19% profit margin, which was slightly low. We were at about 20% throughout the month. It was like 25 at the beginning. Then again, going hard in the aggressive scale, that knocked it down just a little bit. So to give you guys just an update, because it's all about transparency, so far this month, it's the second right now, we'll do about 27,000, give or take 1,000 in sales today. And yesterday we did about 25. So now we have like a 24 to 26% profit margin. So it is going to slowly go up. I want to keep scaling the revenue though, so you will keep seeing that pattern. So for me, again, the goal is $1 million this month at a 20% margin. That's the target. Now I do plan on introducing a subscription business model inside of here on a very small test along the side of just doing upsells. So there's multiple things I like to do because let's say for supplements, that's always the easiest example, and that's not what we're selling. But if you sell someone a bottle of pills that's going to last 30 days, well, they're going to have to buy it again, right? If they need the pills or whatever it is, they're going to have to buy it again. So why don't you just offer it to them right away at a discount? So it's kind of like that whole theory. If you can implement it, it's not going to work for every product or every store, but that is one key thing that I like to do. So I focused a lot on one of my favorite ad strategies, which is a little bit less, I don't want to say risky, but let's say costly, right? You're not going to have as many ad sets completely lose and get $0 in sales if you do what's called horizontal scaling. So for those of you who know versus those of you who don't know, there's two types of main scaling on Facebook that you can do. And I'll explain it the same way to you that I explained it to someone yesterday actually who saw the names of my ads and said, what does horizontal mean? Think about it like this. If you have an ad at $10 a day and it's making you $20 a day, naturally you want to spend more money so that you can make more money. There's two ways you can do that. Either you can do horizontal, which means you have one ad, you do another one of it where it's the same. Now you have two of the same running, doubling ideally. Or you could take that one and then increase the amount it's being spent at, either directly or through a duplicate. That's a more unique strategy. But you could increase it so now it's spending 20, ideally to make more. Vertical versus horizontal. So hopefully that makes sense. That is the breakdown. I did a lot of horizontal this month because I wanted to just do more of what's already working to get that data being built really fast. I like to do vertical once I know for a fact that the Facebook pixel is super, super optimized. Everything is proper. We're going good, smooth. The Facebook page actually has a really good relevance score. For those of you who don't know, if you are taking, let's say, 2 months to deliver your product, if customers are upset, everything's terrible, your feedback score on Facebook is actually going to drop a lot. So if you get below a 2, they're going to really lower the reach of how many people will actually see your ad for the amount you're spending. So your cost is going to go up, your sales are going to go down, and if you get below a 1, your ad account's going to be disabled. So Facebook's really cracking down on a lot of advertisers. That's why I take it so seriously when it comes to taking care of the customers, making sure our orders have not only a quick turnaround time, but a good delivery time as well. So there's a few different things you guys can use for this. This product, we're actually working with a private supplier now, but most of the stuff I start with when it's a new e-commerce brand is the Silk Road or AliExpress. So either one or the other. I have a link to Silk Road in the description. You guys can check it out. It's free to use. You should go browse to see which product is cheaper for you. The one you're trying to get on AliExpress, or if they have it on Silk Road, look to see what's cheaper so that you can factor in your cost of goods as well as your shipping time. Whichever is cheaper and faster, you go with that. It doesn't matter which one. You're the business owner. Make the logical decision, right? So I just focused a lot on that, and this took a lot of time this month. Now, I could very easily let this store sit here doing, again, 15 to 20,000 a day. It would do $500,000 this month at probably 20%, but I want to push it up. So here's the thing. A lot of people think about it like this. They think that they would rather let it sit and not put in more work and have it do $500,000 at 20% margin than have it do $1 million at 10%. Even though it's the same dollar amount, I would much rather have it do $1 million. Why? I have more customers. I'm building more assets, which are such as email lists, a chat bot, text message lists, any of these things, as well as data. These are now more audiences that you can do lookalikes out of, you can retarget to, and you can do all this remarketing where you can reconnect with those customers. And I guarantee you the person doing more revenue in the beginning will win because they're going to have more individual customers, okay? So that's why you see all these brands, these startups who are willing to spend hundreds of dollars to acquire a customer that buys something for 20, right? They know the lifetime value. It's the same as Netflix. They spend hundreds of dollars to get one person paying $9.99 a month because they know how long they stick for. And that's how they can beat out their competitors. So you don't necessarily need to go on the negative right away, but that is definitely one key thing to focus on when building an e-commerce store. It doesn't have to be a brand or anything crazy. Remember, this is just a simple store. It was basic. The store itself wasn't even that sick. Set up an upsell about, I think, 5 days into the month, maybe 6. So still missed out on the first week, but it still started doing really well. So I was able to scale that up. For me, this is good. I mean, it's not the craziest thing I've ever done. I wanted to make money off of it, so I didn't try and push it right to break even. But that for me was a really cool example that I wanted to showcase to you guys here on YouTube. So I do want to touch on the product real quick because I know around this time of the year, there are a lot of people who do one of two things. They either build these stores that can only last a week or two, and I'll explain that in a second, or there's these new people who are jumping into e-commerce who aren't going to last more than a month because all they're seeing is these crazy screenshots of sales and, oh my gosh, Amazon had a 50% jump this year from last year, e-commerce is the next thing, and all these people from all around the world jump on thinking it's easy money. Well, nothing is easy money. Nothing. I mean, even going to work, you got to go to work. So it still takes time. It still takes effort. So that's why you see such a high percentage of people who start drop off. So I want to make it very clear on what we do. First of all, I do not have a store revolving around Halloween. Have I done that? Yes. Do I plan on doing it this year? No, I could. I'm not saying I would, but I have done it multiple times. Let me explain the pros and cons. You could spend many, many hours setting it up. You find the product, you get it all linked, sourcing, everything's good. Boom, you created an ad, you're ready to launch your ads, you're ready. But you're only going to get a couple real weeks of marketing at the most before Halloween, because you have to make sure your product's delivered before Halloween. So there's a small window of time. And when it comes to doing Facebook ads specifically, that's going to limit it even more to how much money you can make, because you have to start building that data. So that's why I don't do that. And that's why this product is an evergreen product. This product, whether I continue selling it or not, will always sell for the next million years, literally, because a lot of people will have the problem that this product solves. So try to find something that's known as an evergreen product. This means it's not seasonal and it's not cyclical. It could be sold at any point in time to someone who needs that, and there is a market for it. So for an example, let's say, I don't know, you're talking about a baby toy. Boom, I've sold a bunch of stuff in the baby niche. Great niche, by the way, because you're not targeting babies, you're targeting parents. And they definitely want to make sure they have the best for their newborn. So check this out. Those kids might grow out of it. They're getting old, but there's always new babies being born. So there's always that cycle of life. That's an evergreen product. You will always have customers to sell to. So just keep that in mind. Something like that is a prime example, and I kind of focus on looking at those products more so than like the purge masks on Halloween, which I did about 200,000 in sales last year on that. But again, that was only like 50,000 in profit, maybe 55, and it took me a shit ton of work in like 3 weeks, and then I had to stop. You know how painful it is to turn off a store that's doing 6,000 a day and is just starting to get up there after weeks and weeks of work all day, every day? It's stupid. It literally makes no sense. The point of building a business is so that one day, eventually, you can step away from it. And you don't have to do that right away with e-commerce. Put in your work. If you need to get some seed money by doing a Halloween store, then do it. Do it. Absolutely do it. I've done that over and over again. But just think about that. Just keep that in mind. So I hope that really breaks down kind of my focus on this store, how I started selling that much. I found a product that works. And again, this is just one store. It's a new store. It's not one of my two main brands. This is not anything that's crazy. This is like, it's doable and it's duplicatable. That's what we try to focus on. That's why I put that clip in at the beginning. You guys saw the car wrap from ecom season, which you can check out that channel linked below. Again, we're not focused on like the quality like this. I have a little better camera, and I know it's not the best, but over there, it's just, it's like value. It's just what's important. Really practical marketing tips. Like I'll hold my camera against my laptop and you can barely see it, but like it shows something. It's super helpful. So, we do that on here as well. I do breakdowns. There's a whole bunch of different things, but that is just the ecom season community side of things. If you guys want to check that out, there's going to be a bunch more videos going up on there with myself, more interviews, this and that, just so we can kind of, have everything in one place. And then you have the different stuff here on the main channel as well. So I really hope you guys enjoy these videos. If you want me to keep updating you on both this brand and maybe showing any new stuff that I decide to build and potentially document as I scale it, let me know by dropping a like down below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to smash the subscribe button, because we are about to hit 200,000 subscribers. That blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. First of all, thank you so much to each and every person who comes here, drops a like, who has ever subscribed, who's ever dropped a comment. I really do appreciate the support on the channel. I never expected it to spiral into something like this, but it's allowed me to really document what I do on a much bigger scale, impact more people, show more people what I do, and even meet people who are from my hometown. For an example, Leon, who I posted on my Instagram like 2 days ago from when you guys will be watching this, who's already done over $2 million in sales this year at a 28% margin. I mean, he's making a whole bunch of money. He told me this month he's going to make $1 million because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it's crazy. He grew up in my hometown. I meet up with him whenever I go back to visit my family. So it's really cool to be able to build this community where, I say, where should I fly next? And someone in Germany who's a student making a bunch of money who I haven't really connected with yet invites me to stay at his place. I really, really appreciate that. For me, that is the coolest community ever. And I'm super excited and super grateful about what we're building here on YouTube, on Instagram, and just the entire community in general. So you guys, if there's ever anything I can do to help you out, please do feel free to reach out either on Instagram or drop a comment here. I always do my best to reply. I get a whole bunch of messages, so just be patient with me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got some value. If you did, I greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like. And with that being said, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.